Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenore and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Libra. If Libra is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so this is a bonus reading for Libra, and our card tonight is the High Priestess. Love that energy always. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look and see what these tea leaves have to say tonight. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit the little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. Okay. So it looks like we have a W-I-L. And I'm thinking that this is like Will or William, maybe Wilhelmina, which is I love that name. I don't know that I've ever met a Wilhelmina, but I do like that name. So it looks like Will, maybe. Okay, and so let's see. We have somebody standing right up here. You can see kind of a dress or a robe, head, arm up here, arm up here. And it feels like they have an arrow that is broken. So I almost kind of feel like catching that arrow that has been kind of shot at you, snapping it. No love for me. No, thank you. No, but I do think that maybe somebody has been like kind of flirtatious. They've had some interest in you and you have shut it down. You know, maybe you're married, maybe you're not interested in kind of amorous entanglements, or maybe you just don't like this person. I don't know. But I do feel like this is kind of, an immediate no. Not happening. Not happening. Now we have a birdhouse right here. And we have a contemplative bird over here. So these tall kind of lake birds or water dwelling birds, or the birds that you see hanging out, the egrets, the cranes, I'm trying to think, not the pelicans, there's so many pelicans in the lake that is a few miles down the road from us. Hundreds of them. Every day that I drive by, there's just hundreds of them. I don't think they stay the whole summer, but I thought they would have migrated out of here already. But they're beautiful and they're goofy looking and they're so cute. There's just a bunch of them. They're bobbing around in the lake. I love it. I'm always so happy when I see them. That's not what I'm talking about though. Cranes, storks, egrets, heron, these large, tall birds that kind of just hang out there in the grasses, in the marshland, in the shallows of the lake or a pond, and they wait, right? They're waiting for them fish. And actually, I have a video. I saw a heron catch a fish a few weeks ago, and then it took it over to the beach area of the lake there and speared the thing. I did not know that's how they ate them, but I was like, wow, that is a little dinosaur down there, isn't it? So anyways, these are contemplative birds. If you have seen them, they hang out, they stand there. Sometimes they're even on one leg. This is where we get some of those yogic positions. But if you can imagine, you're hanging out, you're waiting, you're thinking, you're contemplating the universe, your your existence, and everything in between. And so, yes, I feel that this is a time of kind of great introspection, really, really looking into, and not just your histories, right? And I call these our self-histories or self-mythology. And these are kind of the happenings of our life, our memories, and the stories we kind of tell ourselves about our life. And yeah, maybe that's something you're thinking about a little bit, but no, this is beyond that. This is your spiritual existence, your place in the, in reality, in the universe, in the cosmos, within the divine. And I do feel like this is a time of kind of revelation of some kind, but also self-evolution, really turning towards that interior work. There's a calling. That's why you're here. That's why you're listening to this, because you are going through a period of your life where, you realize maybe all of this isn't just it. Maybe there's more to it than this. It might be a religion. It might be some kind of, religious text or thinking, philosophical system, the tenets, the virtues, the dogmas of. It might just, really be this kind of existential thing that happens to us sometimes, where, we start to think, what does this all mean? Why am I here? So I feel like this is a time where, you're shifting into and it's becoming very important to you, at the forefront of your mind and your living. Okay. So, I feel that this is kind of the beginning of a personal pilgrimage, looking for some answers, looking for more questions to ask, right? That's usually what happens when we start out on these spiritual journeys. The further we get in, the more questions we have, right? And so, yes, I think this is a beautiful time. It might feel, well, I don't know, sometimes these things, they can feel like it's a phase. Oh, I'm just going through a phase. I don't know. I'll snap out of it. I'll get back to normal. No, I don't think that that's what this is. I think that this is a turn in your life, a refocusing of what is important to you. Your soul is looking for some food, I think. It wants to be fed. And so, yes, I think that this is something. And I, low-key, a little bit jealous. I wish I was beginning my interest in religion and in the occult, in magic, in esoteria. It's still very exciting to me. I actually just started reading about and ordered, shout out to, what is that one? What is the website called? Thrift Books? Cheap books. But I've been reading about an order of mystic Christian women from the Middle Ages, called the Beguine. And, if you've ever watched my channel, I talk about Teresa of Avila quite often. She's actually kind of from a later period of time, but similar thinking. And this is kind of the, it's an interesting period of time where there's a lot of emphasis on something called courtly love, and the poetry of courtly love and the troubadours and things. So love is supreme here. And it gets into our interior relationships. The idea of finding the beloved, God kind of manifests within self as a beloved partner, right? Our celestial spouse. And so there is this kind of devotion to divine love, and a celestial union, or you know, and we think of this as kind of like what nuns would do, right? They go and they join an order, they take their vows, they become married to Jesus, and in extension God. And so they live these, you know, sometimes cloistered lives, or you know, the life of whatever the virtues of their order are, and that's kind of the singular. It's not singular. It's, you know, it's very involved, complex life. Although to us on the outside, it maybe seems pretty singular, but so many ways, you know, I'm interested in these lifestyles. I'm interested in the work of agape and divine love, ecstatic love, obsessive love for the divine, and I, you know, I feel sometimes like I've read everything, I've been introduced to most things, you know, and it's like, okay, I'm not finding any inspiration, and then all of a sudden, you know, we find something that sparks that curiosity again. And so this for me, yeah, when I see people beginning in their journey, I kind of am jealous, but then I have these moments where, yeah, I'm going to go in deep. I've ordered all these books. Well, a few books anyways. And I'm going to, you know, really spend some time with these, you know, mystic women, these emanations of love and devotion. It's, you know, to me, from what I've read in the little fragments, it's very akin to Sufic poetry. Another order that, you know, I find a lot of kinship in, Sufic or Jainism, and these kind of higher orders of love, of, you know, love. God is love, love is God, right? And so, you know, I think that you are going through your own version of finding this inspiration, whatever it is for you, whatever that looks like. Maybe going to services at some churches or temples or mosques or whatever, you know, wherever you're finding your community and that divine feeling. It might be that you're, you know, like myself, a solitary practitioner, and you do the work by yourself, and you kind of, you know, have your own rituals and practices. And I'm sorry, my stomach is growling. Stomach is growling. Time to break fast pretty soon here. So yes, this is a wonderful opportunity to go searching. Okay. Now let's see. Okay, we have somebody holding, it almost looks like a cat. The person's here holding a cat, and then we have a dog. So we have this kind of, almost, I feel like a harmonious grouping of people who seem like the odd couple, right? Two beings that you are told maybe they're not going to be friends. But in reality, you know, they find commonality. They find friendship and love within their companionship, right? So yes, I do. And it maybe is even in your own household. Maybe you do have some cats and some dogs, or a cat and a dog. Maybe these are animals that you had around when you were younger, and you think about them here and there. But I do feel like this is a powerful it's a powerful statement of do not assume how things are going to go, right? You might find that you have this preconceived notion of something or a situation, and then you get into the thing, you start to meet somebody, get to know them, understand them maybe a little bit, and find that you have quite a connection. And I honestly think, and maybe it's just me, but more often than not, the people who I think that I am going to really vibe with, I usually don't. And people who seem completely in a different, they're from a different, world than I am, those are the people that I end up finding some kind of, common interest or relation, or we just kind of get along well enough, right? And not that I don't get along with everybody, but, there's, I think I've always been this way, I don't know. That's why I don't really, I've never been into like subcultures really. Now, I always went to like shows and concerts and involved in the art worlds and things, mostly like street art and stuff, but I rarely made good friends within the subcultures. And if I did, it wasn't because of the subculture. It was just we happened to know each other from like work or, whatever. But sometimes, we just are, I don't know. For me, I find a lot of people who seem completely different. I just end up really enjoying them. And part of why I live in the place that I live, I've said before, we're pretty rural, and the people are wonderful and nice around us. We're kind of like the Addams family, right? We just look very different. I mean, very different. And, that used to like kind of worry me. And I always thought, I don't want to embarrass my daughter when she's, maybe I'll tone it down a little bit. You know what? People have been nothing but welcoming, and lovely. And so sometimes we have to really not assume what it's going to be like, right? Because people more often than not will surprise you in a good way. People are going to let you down and do not nice things, right? And that's life. That happens. But more often than you realize, people will definitely surprise you, I think. And so I look at this and I feel like, you're in a place of having a really open heart. And I feel that you are somebody who is probably quite accepting yourself. And when you have that energy, I feel like other people around you kind of get on board with that. They feel compelled to be more open and receiving as well. And even if it's just kind of a put on to make them feel like, okay, I'm not going to be the one here making a fuss. Sometimes that's how it starts out, and they kind of adhere to the energy of the thing. And then maybe at some point they kind of start realizing, there's no reason for me to dislike this group of people or this kind of person, or think that this because now I've seen that it's possible to be open and accepting and and so on. So I do believe so much, and I believe this from my deepest part of my heart, when we try to police each other and tell each other, you have to act this way, you have to be open, you have to accept everybody, which is true, by the way. I think we need to be accepting. I'm not saying we don't. But when we try to force that mindset on other people, more often than not, very resistant. And not only that, it usually sets people deeper into whatever their thinking is. But when we just live and lead by example, this is the way. right? This is how people start to change their, the way that they treat other people, how they interact with other people. If I come into a situation and somebody's telling me, yelling, telling, demanding, I immediately close myself off. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't know, even if you're right, I still don't want to hear it. But if I come into a situation where there is a, I love the motherly presence, but there is a feeling of inclusivity and openness and, accepting of one another. That's a whole other vibe, right? It feels nice to go into that situation, and it changes how I feel. It changes how any of us feel. So anyways, I don't know. I don't like to, here I am telling people how to be, but I don't like to tell anybody how to do anything, because what the heck do I know, really? But I do believe that we change the world by the way that we live, the way that we treat other people, the way that we guide one another. So anyways, let's go ahead. We have a house here with a, I'm sorry, my stomach is really, it is, and I know I said, tonight, I'm stuck in this saying that I'm reading at night. I'm not. It's early in the morning, actually. I've shifted to, instead of reading, doing my readings until like 1 a.m., I'm now getting up early, like about 5 a.m. and doing my reading. So now I have to combat my my tum-tum, because I'm gonna have to break fast here. And actually it's too early, right? I don't have to, but I usually try to go for 14 hours. Try to stick to some intermittent fasting. I find it to be kind of helpful for me. For energy, amazingly. It really does. It boosts your energy, or mine anyways. It's different for everybody, but okay, let's see. So we have the house. It has a chimney. We have a person kind of wrestling a boar over here. We also have a fish. We have money coming in. We also have the dove. I feel like there's a sense of, kind of going home, maybe even going like to some kind of family event. Maybe this is like going home to mom and dad's. Maybe this is like whoever hosts the things. Maybe you're going back to your hometown. I feel like there's a sense of really wrestling with your anxieties about this. Kind of almost worried about slipping into old behaviors, I think. But also about being treated like you were the last time you saw all of your family. And that maybe was some years ago. I feel like there's this sense of like, or, you're always treated like the kid. And now you're like 55 and, they still treat you like you're a kid. And kind of not happy with that all the time. But I do think there's an excitement about going home, about being with your people. Looking for some peace, right? Somewhere in there where you can kind of rest these anxieties, these old things, these old hurts. Maybe having some productive conversations and expressions of love. That's the big thing I see, an expression of love. And with the money for something, I don't know. Maybe you're inheriting money, maybe money is being given to you. But I also feel like this is kind of like going on this trip, or, you know, having this long weekend or whatever, feeling like there's going to be some inspiration that comes of this, okay? And that might be what it is. You put it into your work, and that's where you're making your money, and it all comes together. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do the Divine Doors cards here, Oracle cards, and I'm going to flip through. I'm going to stop where it feels right. I love that saffron color, the orange. Ooh. All right, let's see. We have the Silent Skill. I challenge you to unpack your mind in meditation's grace. The soul can unwind. Breathe in, breathe out, let go of doubt. Breathe in, breathe out, let go of doubt. All right, Libra, I'm going to go ahead and tell you I love you because I do, and I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And if you would like to leave a comment, please do. I'd love to hear from you. Yeah, so other than that, yes, I think that's it. All right. So, oh, you know what I was going to say is we just changed my husband over at Dove and Serpent Tarot. We just changed his set as well. I know mine's different too. His was way more involved though. So go check out his new set. I think it should be debuting maybe when these readings come out. So go check it out. Go look. Go see what is going on over there. I know that he told me he was trying out some different ways to do readings and switching up the set, the decorations. I don't, I'm not gonna toot my horn too much, but I just absolutely am like so pleased with myself. We were talking about what we could do with this set to kind of spruce it up, and together came up with this beautiful vision. We got it ordered, the things ordered, and then put it together. And just, I don't know, it just came out so beautifully in my mind. I'm kind of like, well, I just want to go in there and film too. So anyways, go check it out. I know that Paul has been enjoying it. So yes, I think a very happy Paul in his readings. So anyways, I love you. Take care of yourself. We're going to talk soon. Good night. Oh, it's not night. It's morning. Good morning. Good morning. Have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful night wherever you are, whenever you're listening. Bye-bye.